Yo, what's up, guys? What's up, guys? James Lee, Aoki. Check this out. Today we've got an important video, man. This is literally one of the best foods that you can consume in your body, right? You probably heard about probiotics. Like, this is a kombucha, right? And kombucha is kind of becoming popular because it has good yeast and bacteria, right? So it's a probiotic drink, right? We probably heard about yogurt, right? Being a probiotic food because those add bacteria to our body. So eating fermented foods is something that has even more powerful than these, right? These are really tame compared to this. So just to kind of give you an example, you're going to get about 1 billion good bacteria when you do like something like a yogurt or kombucha. When you take in like high dose probiotic pills, you're going to get about 100 billion. When you consume fermented vegetables, you're going to get like 1 trillion, man, like a lot. So it's going to be quite a bit more. And it's inexpensive as well. So one of the reasons why you want all this good bacteria is because your immune system is mostly comprised of bacteria. Your body is mostly comprised of bacteria. You've got 10 times more bacteria than human cells on your body. 10 times, man. I know that sounds staggering, but scientists have been doing quite a bit of research on bacteria because our bodies are loaded with this stuff. For example, you take the digestive tract out of somebody and you spread it out, right? That's gross, right? But it's the size of a tennis court. It's that big. So you scrunch all that together, put it in here, and it's loaded with bacteria. So what actually digests your food is bacteria. What actually is your immune system is mostly bacteria. So the more of this food that we can consume, the more soldiers we're adding to our immune system, right? So before we even go there though, what you want to avoid to kill the things that you want to do. All right, so you're probably familiar with bacteria and you've got like a negative association with it. Maybe you've taken antibiotics because you had a bacterial infection, right? So antibiotics, unfortunately, they kill the good and the bad bacteria, right? So what happens is when you kill the bad, you're going to be more susceptible to getting sick and more susceptible to digestive ailments like gas, bloating, diarrhea, right? If you have those things, what's happening is that you've got an overgrowth of the bad, either yeast, usually it's yeast, candida, and then small bacterial overgrowth, all right? So check it. So usually when you've got gas, bloating, diarrhea, usually what's happening is you've got a yeast overgrowth, right? So in the digestive tract, you've got 90% good and you've got about 10% bad in a healthy body. So what happens is that 90% overwhelmingly makes up the majority of the digestive tract. But what happens is when you take in things like antibiotics or birth controls or genetically modified foods or a lot of sugar, right? What you end up doing is you end up feeding the bad bacteria and killing off the good. So what eventually happens is there's an overgrowth of the bad. And that's where a lot of people have digestive ailments, man. It gets really bad. So those things can manifest as like brain fog and skin conditions like eczema and psoriasis. And so what we need to do is we need to cut out the sugar because that feeds the bad, right? We need to avoid like genetically modified foods and pesticides. And we need to avoid like hormone foods and antibiotics in your meat as well, all right? And we need to take in these good bacteria in the form of probiotic foods. Because what this will do is this will give us a mega dose of the good, and we need a constant flow of this stuff. So it's really easy to make though, right? So what you do is the red pepper is made, you take fresh red pepper, and then what you'll do is you'll add garlic, and you just blend it up in the Vitamix, all right? Now it's gonna give you this nice juice too, right? So what you're gonna get from that though is you're gonna add a vegetable, and you can do like really, literally, you could do many different ones. Traditional kimchi is going to be with cabbage, or you could do radish. This one is turnip greens, all right? So this one's a little bit more bitter, and so bitter gives you a cleansing effect on the liver, all right? So that's one of the health benefits. But of course, it's loaded with vitamins and minerals as well. And when you eat fermented foods, it makes it more bioavailable, which means it's easier to digest in your body, all right? So the bacteria goes to work and pre-digest this stuff. so that when you consume it, you're getting the good bacteria, and you're also getting vegetables that are pre-digested, right? So people who have digestive problems, you'll notice when you eat high fibrous foods, you tend to feel bloated and gassy afterwards. And the reason why is because that stuff's sitting in your body. You don't have enough bacteria to be able to break that stuff down. Or what's happening is you don't have enough stomach acid, right, to be able to break that stuff down. So adding loads of this is huge, right? The other thing that you're going to get aside from good bacteria, now this is really important, and you probably haven't heard about this before, but vitamin K. There's a huge benefit to vitamin K. So you're probably familiar with vitamin K in the form of blood clotting. So if you talk to your doctor, they're pretty much familiar with vitamin K1, which is for blood clotting. And you get that mostly by eating green vegetables, but vitamin K2 is the superstar, okay? Because what it does is it tells calcium what to do. So when people experience osteoporosis, what happens is calcium is leaching out of the bones and it goes into the arteries, right? And that creates heart disease, right? It creates plaque. So what you've got to do is more vitamin K2, what it will do is it will take out the calcium from the arteries and put it back into the bone, right? So you're lowering your incidence of heart disease and osteoporosis. So vitamin K2 is gaining a lot more traction in the health community, and you're going to hear a lot more about this, but you naturally will get high amounts of vitamin K2 by eating fermented vegetables, all right? So it's a huge, huge importance, because remember, heart disease is the #1 killer in man, right? Cancer is also huge, right? That's the #2 killer in man. And think about those two. Heart disease is you're going to have like this buildup of plaque. So if you've got something that could actually reduce that, huge benefit. With cancer, you've got a lowering of the immune system, and you've got cells that, let's bring that down, honey. You've got cancer cells that just proliferate and grow and grow. You need a healthy immune system to be able to attack that. And what builds up your healthy immune system is the bacteria in your body, all right? So you got to consume this stuff on the regular. I eat this every day, and I try to consume it with every meal. And I consume drinks like probiotic, drinks like this as well. You could easily make this stuff yourself, or you could just go buy it. There's a whole bunch of natural flavors out there that make it really good. This stuff really is easy. So what you take is vegetables. I'm using, you don't have to use red pepper, but I am. Red pepper is loaded with vitamin C. Also, garlic is one of the best herbs that will kill yeast, fungus, and bacteria, the bad one, all right? So it will help your immune system with a dramatic effect. So you always want to try to take in as much garlic as you can consume every day. Now, taking in raw garlic is always going to be the best, but you could certainly add it into your food while you're cooking, and some people could supplement it with it too, you know, but again, this is the cheapest form of doing it, just dicing it up and adding it to this, right? So I've got green onions in here, and I also have some sesame seeds in here as well. So all you need to do is really mix this up. This jar right here, I mean, we could take this down, just me and by myself. This will probably, because I eat so much of it, it'll probably be like maybe 2 weeks. But again, like I haven't been sick since like 6 years, right? And part of that is just by consuming fermented foods, because they're so nutritious. So again, you're going to improve your immune system, right? You're going to help your body digest food better. And remember, it's not just what you eat, but it's how well you digest the food. That's what's important. So really get that in, because how you digest the food makes all the difference. Because if it's sitting in your body and you're bloating and gassing and it's just not digesting well, you're not getting all the nutrients extracted from the food. Instead, it's just rotting and putrefying in your body, and then it's going out as waste. But you're not getting it in and assimilating it into your cells. So you got to make sure that you get this stuff. All right. Another benefit that I'll mention is that if you've got massive food cravings, a lot of people have cravings to sugar. Part of the reason why you have that, aside from like lifestyle factors, part of the reason why you have that is a bacterial overgrowth or yeast overgrowth. And that stuff feeds on sugar, and it's wanting you, it changes your biology, so it's wanting more, right? So one of the best things you can do is consume fermented foods, because it adds in so much of the good bacteria, and it will reduce your food cravings. So as much as you can, start slow on this because again, like I said, it's powerful, but then you steadily increase the amount until you're eating the stuff like on the regular, almost with every meal, and you're gonna really notice how well your digestion is, right? And again, what you see here is mostly gonna be made up of what you're eating, all right? So make sure you're eating the highest quality foods you can. All right, you guys. Man, I hope that's been a really good education. You know, fermented foods. Fermentation doesn't sound that great to you, but get over that, right? Call it probiotic foods, if you will, whatever you want to call it. But this stuff needs to be in your diet in a hurry, all right? So either make it or just go out and buy it. When you go out and buy it, it's going to be in the refrigerated section. It's in these small bottles, man. Don't be surprised, get sticker shock. It's going to be like $7 for a small bottle. But you could easily make this. Like all this came from the garden. And then, so literally, like the input cost on this is less than $10, man. So you could do it either way. It's all good, but just make sure you get it in your diet. All right, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Let me know what you're thinking. Let me know if you have any questions. And make sure you get down on this stuff. Oh, when you make this, you could eat it right away. Or what you can do is you like it a little bit more sour. What you can do is you can leave it out, right? So I can leave this outside for like 2 or 3 days. And then I can start consuming it. So the more I leave it, the more bacteria will grow, right? It'll have time to grow and I'll get more. But on this one, you wouldn't want to leave it really like any more than 3 days. So it's all good, baby. All right, you guys.